Hello, and welcome again to Amazing Mind. If you have just joined us, we have as our second guest, author Tema Merback. And Tema is here to talk to us and to teach us about how to return to your dream after life gets in the way. Please help me welcome my very special guest, Tema Merback. Now, Tema, tell us a little bit about your journey. First of all, what was your dream?
Well, my dream was obviously to be an author. I wanted to do that, and along the way, life happened, and I started out with all the best intentions, writing all the time and writing screenplays. And as a kid, my teachers all raved about me as a writer, and they told me to continue, that I would be a writer one day. And then in my teens, in my tumultuous teens, it was poetry that got me through. I wrote all the time, and then when I applied to Bryn Mawr College to be a Catherine McBride Scholar, it was my essay that got me in, so writing was always my ticket.
So tell me, in what way can life get in the way of a dream?
Oh, I don't have to tell you, Lisa, or any of you. Life sometimes just has a nasty habit of getting in the way. First, I met my husband, and his life and our marriage and his world became everything to me. And my children were born, my two children, and they're 10 years apart, so I don't know what I was thinking, but anyway, they were 10 years apart, and everything about my life centered around those two kids. And then I lost sight of my dream. I forgot where I was going.
How did you find your way back?
I realized that if you didn't do what you loved, and I had time on my hands, my kids started to grow up, as our children tend to do, just like yours did, or doing, I should say. And I had time on my hands, and I felt incomplete as a person, and I wanted to start over and find who I really am.
If you don't mind my asking, how old were you when you returned to your dream?
Well, I was mid-50s.
Really?
So I put everything, time as a way of getting away from you.
Yes.
And I put everything I had I looked in the mirror one day and said, if I don't do this now, this ain't no dress rehearsal, I'll never get there. So I decided that was what I had to do.
Just between you and me, was there ever a crisis of confidence?
No one's listening, right?
No.
Okay. Absolutely. I mean, I think I thought about it, and I still do. Sometimes I think about it all the time. Can I do this? Is it possible? And I wake up every day. But I'll tell you one thing: writers write. That is the way it works, and you get better every day you do it. You have to get up in the morning. You have to look at that blank page, or you have to look at that computer screen, and you're alone. That's it.
Tema, you said that writers write, and I have heard that before. What about writer's block? Has it ever happened to you?
I don't really get writer's block. I kind of just key in. I don't know what happens to me. When I start writing, I lose myself in what the story, and the characters take over. I also have an energy that seems to come sometimes from the universe, and it just pours right through me onto the page.
Well, listen, I'm a hammer. Everything looks like a nail. So when you talk about sitting at the computer and feeling that energy come through, I call it going into a trance state and allowing the story that has already been written somewhere to come and access it. And does it feel like it's flowing through you?
Absolutely.
What does that feel like?
It feels like the characters have taken over my life and my consciousness, and I just lose myself in the whole process. I can work for hours. I don't even feel passage of time.
That is a trance state where you have time distortion. You get so much done and you don't even realize how much time has passed.
That's exactly right.
Is it a good feeling?
I think it's the best feeling in the world.
Wow. I too am in my mid-50s, and I'm trying to launch a television career. What would you say to someone who's an old broad like me about returning to my dream?
Lisa, time waits for no one, so I'd say you better get started.
Yes. And here we are.
Here we are.
So what would you say to anybody who wants to return to the dream and has that limiting belief, I'm too old, it's not for me. Who would want to watch me? Who would want to read me? Who would want to listen to me? Who would want to read my blogs? Who would want to buy my art, come to my practice? What would you say to that person?
I'd say, you better get started. You better just right now look at your life. You'll feel re-energized. You'll be reborn. You'll have new purpose in life. Dreams are not age. Dreams are about passion. And if you fulfill your passion, your whole life will get better. You'll be energized. You'll feel younger. You'll do everything wonderful.
I like it. So we talked about old broads like me.
And me.
Never. What about people who are in the midst of life? They're young parents. They're young married people. They're having one of these careers that pay the rent. You know those? They're kind of interesting. And yet they have a dream that may not have immediate economic payoff. What would you say to someone who's in the middle of life that they look and they say, I can't do it now, Tema, life's in the way?
You know, I would say I'm a little jealous because you have every opportunity to do what you love to do. All you have to do is start out small. Take an hour. Take an hour a day. Instead of watching television, I shouldn't say that, but instead of spending all your time doing that, take that hour and do what you love. Do what your passion is.
Will you be more tired or less tired if you watch TV versus doing your passion?
Oh, you'll probably be, in some ways, more tired because you'll be exhausted, that power exhaustion.
But not the lethargy.
No
not
lethargy.
The lethargy that comes from staring at a screen.
No, absolutely not. Not only that, but your own, I really believe that it's the cure to even Alzheimer's is so much part of our brain functioning, well, everyone says that anyway, our brain functioning and doing the things we love and using it all the time.
So let's dial back even more. What do you say about the young person, the student, whose teacher says, your writing is beautiful, that young person who writes, when I grow up, I'm going to be a writer?
Don't let go of your dream. Just keep on doing it every day. And even if life sidetracks you, it's never too late. Keep going.
Excellent. And speaking of being an author, I'd like to talk about your books. Well, your first book is called In the Face of Evil, and I got a confession for you, Tema. When you said, here, this is my first book, In the Face of Evil. It is a finalist for the National Jewish Book Award. I said, oh, goody, a Holocaust book. And in reality, I was dreading reading it. But then when I did, from my soul, I found it uplifting, I found it inspiring, I found it energizing, and I felt so good after reading it, not blue, depressed, and angry, as I would with some other things that I watch or read about the Holocaust. Can you tell us about this book?
I can. This book was the book I had to write. Was a book of passion for me. It's also got me back into writing, but most importantly, it's the story of my mother's survival of the Holocaust, and my mother is even here in the audience today. So this is a very personal book for me. However, when I went to send this book out to agents, I had more rejections because you're right, nobody wants to even tell the tale of the Holocaust anymore. They really, there's a lot out there, and they're not real anxious to jump on a project like this. But everyone who's ever read it, and I believe that it's probably one of the most inspirational books you could possibly read, because it will make you appreciate what you have in life, and it will make you set your course that you will want to fulfill your dream.
So is learning the story one of the things that had you make that conviction that you are a writer and you're not going to give that up even after this book was finished?
Well, yes. When this book absolutely reintroduced me to my passion.
What can we learn from it besides a little history?
Well, you'll learn about redemption, you'll learn about the power of the human power to survive, the amount of the will to live. It's really about the will to live and overcome any kind of obstacle.
Wow. So.
I'm very proud of it.
Oh, I'm very impressed by it.
Thank you.
And now for something completely different.
Yes.
Well, after I was done reading In the Face of Evil, I decided to pick up the next book and see what historical event this one was going to document. Instead, Tema, I found erotic fiction.
That's right.
Can you tell us about this book called The One? And you know, for some reason, that doesn't say Tema Merback.
It's a nom de plume.
Oh, tell me about this book.
Well, after surviving the Holocaust myself, I mean, I had to get 2 years of writing about the Holocaust. I really had to go somewhere else with this. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I picked up 50 Shades of Grey, and I really liked it. I found it inspiring, and I said to myself, you know, I think I could do this. This might be really fun.
I read 50 Shades of Grey, but it was just for research purposes.
Yeah, me too.
Yes.
I still read those kind of books now and again for research purposes. But this book, it's like the hottest genre in the publishing industry today.
Really?
Is romantic erotic.
So hottest
books.
as in hottest, or hottest as in most purchased or fastest growing?
Hottest erotic, hottest as in, pardon the pun, hottest.
Got it.
And the other thing about it is that I wanted to, you know, I really wanted to reach a larger audience. I wanted something that could be lucrative, and that, you know, maybe I would actually make some money writing. So this fit right up my avenue. This particular book, though, I thought I could bring the skills of being a good writer, and telling a great story, because this book is a thriller.
This is a mystery erotic romantic thriller.
That's right, and it's the first of my series. The only one series it's going to be called, I should say. And the second book is, I just got today the proofs back from the editors.
Synchronicity.
So today the proofs came back from the editors, and I haven't gotten to look at it yet, but it's going to be entitled The One and More.
Wow.
I'm very excited about it.
Dare I ask, where did you get your deep breath inspiration?
Oh, where did I get my inspiration?
Read this one.
You know, well, I'm happily married. I guess my husband did it. No.
You say yes. Say yes, because he's here in our studio audience today.
So, yeah, I think I was inspired a lot by just the reading the other 50 Shades of Grey really did it for me. That got me started. And then I started to read other ones, and I thought, I can actually be very good at this.
Is it the same process, Tema, where you sit at the computer, get into a very relaxed state, and let the characters come through you and write the book themselves?
Absolutely. That even more so. Because it absolutely does. Because some of the things that go on in my books, obviously, I have not experienced.
Except for in the world of
in
the
my inner eye.
Yes.
In my inner eye. No, yeah, I haven't experienced everything in my book. Also because I use a lot of things. I even use some of the little kinky, sexier things. It's a very erotic book. I'm not going to, say it's not, but it's got a great story, and it really is a thriller. It's got it's murder and everything in it.
Wow. Well, Tema, I know that everybody is going to want to pick up a copy of The One for a little bit of lighter late-night reading, and everyone is going to want to pick up your book that's a finalist for the National Jewish Book Award, In the Face of Evil. And these two very different books are available where?
Everywhere, basically. Amazon.com, in the hardcovers, or in Kindle, Nook, Barnes & Noble. It just goes on and on. Yeah.
It appears that we're out of time for today. But first, I want to thank Tema Merback for coming in and talking to us about returning to our dream after life gets in the way. She also shared with us, some of the secrets of being a great writer. I want to thank everybody in our studio audience and those of you watching at home. I hope you'll join us next time when we meet more people and continue to explore the amazing mind. Please stay tuned. We have a lot more coming up for you on Hypnosis TV.
Thank you.
That was really just joined us, we have as our second guest, author Tema Merback. And Tema is here to talk to us and to teach us about how to return to your dream after life gets in the way. Please help me welcome my very special guest, Tema Merback. Now, Tema, tell us a little bit about your journey. First of all, what was your dream?
Well, my dream was obviously to be an author. I wanted to do that, and along the way, life happened, and I started out with all the best intentions, writing all the time and writing screenplays. And as a kid, my teachers all raved about me as a writer, and they told me to continue, that I would be a writer one day. And then in my teens, in my tumultuous teens, it was poetry that got me through. I wrote all the time. And then when I applied to Bryn Mawr College to be a Catherine McBride Scholar, it was my essay that got me in. So writing was always my ticket.
Hello, and welcome again to Amazing Mind. So tell me, in what way can life get in the way of a dream?
Oh, I don't have to tell you, Lisa, or any of you. Life sometimes just has a nasty habit of getting in the way. First, I met my husband, and his life and our marriage and his world became everything